Hello, everyone. We got a video for you all today on a theme park, a big, huge, glamorous progress theme park rant.
I thought we were doing a theme park rant.
Oh, no. Okay. Welcome to a big, glamorous, extravagant theme park rant. And it's full of progress.
Definitely full of progress
Because,
today.
yes, full of whatever you said. Anyway, I'll tell you something.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah, let me tell you something, brother. The internet theme park community has been on my freaking nerves for the past day. And we're gonna just start here. Carousel of Progress is getting an update after 1994. How
93.
93.
So 33 years.
33 years. Now, Julian, let's start by saying, how do you feel about this update?
I am all for it. Actually, surprisingly enough, like 3 years ago, before we even started this channel, me and him, we were coming up with ideas on how we would build our own Disney World. And one of the things we wanted to touch on was Carousel of Progress by actually like fully updating it, having it start in the 60s and then move up to like the 2010s or 2020s around that. And
Did we predict this change?
Did we?
So anyway, Disney fans, blame us! Blame us for this! We're helping the leadership for this shit. We're on Tomorrow's side here.
Where's our check?
I'll tell you something. Disney, thank you. But I'm just saying this just because I'm being genuine here. Disney's been on a roll.
They have.
They've been on a roll lately. Like, a lot of the things they've been doing, they've been announcement. Now, this ain't no Chapek ball game. This ain't no this. We are in a new era. You know how Triple H says we're in a new era. Well, we're the new goddamn era. And we're gonna say this. Carousel of Progress. It's called Carousel of Progress.
Yeah.
And I understand. Let me say this. I understand that Walt put his blueprint on this attraction. In 1964, keep in mind this had 3-4 versions.
Yeah, it was always intended to be updated, but over time they really were mainly focusing on the ending rather than actually focusing more on like what was going on in that period. And honestly, in my opinion, for the 93 redo, I think it probably would have been smarter for them to actually focus more in like the 60s, 80s, then 90s, or 50s at least.
Yeah.
As that could have been really well done for that period, but obviously they didn't, as the whole goal was actually to kind of preserve the originality of Carousel of Progress. It was like around 1993 they wanted to preserve it and make it more so like a historical, attraction, and so that's why why we got what we got. Now 33 years later, we have this going on where do you actually have like the information on what they're actually going to be touching on?
Yeah, I have a article out by the Disney Park blog, which I'm going to share my screen right now.
Yeah.
Specifically regarding this. Now, I want to first say people are mad at the fact that they're touching the first 3 scenes because they were within Walt's life.
Yes.
And he grew up in the 40s and 50s, so people are kind of like they're taking Walt out. But let me tell you this: if they're really taking Walt out of the parks, then why the fuck in 1998 they ruined the Enchanted Tiki Room? They ruined the Enchanted Tiki Room and put under. So I don't like when these people say, "Oh, Disney's changing. They don't care about Walt." Yet, under new management was panned by people. And that was in 1998.
That was when Roy E. Disney was still like president. So it's just like it doesn't make sense. Plus, on top of that, they're putting in Walt's like a Walt animatronic.
That's the other point I made. They're putting a Walt Disney animatronic, and I love that because Disneyland has it. So why don't Florida get it? I think that's a great thing. And You think they don't care about? They're literally putting a Walt animatronic on the ride. That's all that. Honestly, let me tell you what my friend said. He like again, he's a huge Disney fan, but he's actually supportive of this change. He really likes this change, and he's a viewer on the channel as well.
Nice.
Shout out to you, Nicholas. The fact some people even have the nerve to freak out Walt's personal touch will be gone, while understandable, is a bit dramatic. I think Disney needs to be up to date with this, because Walt only did things from the time he grew up with, knowing times will change technologically. 100% agree. And then, the other thing that I remember, well, of course, I'm all in for the, Disneyland will never be finished, and there will be, and he even said the parks will change. So
they're supposed to, because you know why? You know why, Joey? And say it with me. Theme parks are not
a museum.
They're not museums, guys. Listen, the beautiful thing. Listen, we might not have a time machine, but the closest thing we'll ever get.
Go watch our Back to the Future the Ride video.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
But I was gonna say, even though we don't have time machines, YouTube exists, right? Books exist. We have so much. We have the original Carousel of Progress audio on YouTube, where you can listen to the original 1964 version from the World's Fair on YouTube. That is crazy. That is actually insane. And there's so many videos of this ride that exists.
And the other thing is, Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, they're already on YouTube. Again, there's a beautiful thing called reminiscing.
Exactly. And people are saying the song's going to be gone. What? You're telling me that you're afraid that the song, the iconic, the Disney's not that stupid that they're going to take away that. If anything, I would be happy if they took it away for them to replace it with That Was the Time. And bring back Now Is the Time, Now Is the Best Time.
I don't know about that, but I was gonna say, I think
I like that song, but I mean it's an iconic song.
For Disney World history, for Disney World history.
Beautiful Tomorrow is such I honestly.
That's got to stay.
You need to have that stay. In all seriousness, there's no Disney World without. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. You know what? Maybe that's what they're gonna replace.
Stay with me, everyone. Man has a dream. That's the start. He follows his dream with mind and heart, and then it becomes a reality. This is a reality now for these people, and I'm gonna be reading not Facebook comments, but Instagram comments. That's a joke between us. People are like, just, this reminded me how they whined about Rivers of America. When I actually, I'm being real. I think Rivers of America was a lot more attention was thrown with Rivers of America. I remember people were just going crazier with Rivers of America.
Yes.
Which, again, hot take. Disneyland's river is the best. Disneyland's river is Walt's river.
Yeah.
So that also has to stay because of Phantasmic and.
Yes, I think that's the only reason why they would keep it.
Why they, So there's a ride that doesn't need to update. It's this one. It's history. Yeah, but people are saying it's history. Yet this is not even the original version of the ride.
It's not even close.
And also the other thing is, the dialogue is outdated, man. It's outdated. The whole show's outdated.
It is very, very, very outdated.
I hear that dialogue and I'm chuckling. I'm like, what is this?
Also to put into mind, one of our friends, he actually wrote it way back, probably a few years ago, with his girlfriend at the time, and I remember he said it confused him how we went to the 60s and then or not to the 60s. Sorry, it confused him how we went to the 40s. And then it immediately jumped right into the 2010s. 2010, yeah. That just didn't make sense.
And I think the fact that I think they should have changed up the entire show. This is something, what they're doing now is something that they should have done in 1993.
Literally.
They should have redone the entire show. So if this was done in 1993, I wonder how the reactions would be. And Disney, and then back to my under new management comment, they had to bring the original version back only because of those. So coincidentally, Iago and Zazu burned, and they had to bring back the original show.
Yeah.
Now Country Bears. I'm glad the Country Bears are still there. The new show. I don't. It's okay. I like it.
I enjoy it. Plus, it gets a lot of attention now.
Oh, it does. I mean,
that's the whole point of all of this too.
I know I said that theme parks aren't museums, but there are things that, I mean, there's a contracts and also it's business decisions, stuff like that. Anyway, let me share my screen here, and we're gonna now read through a great big beautiful tomorrow, the ever-changing carousel of progress. All right, here we fucking go. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow. So confirmed. The song will stay. The song will stay, fuckers. Walt Disney, for the last 60 years, this passion project of Walt himself, they're acknowledging Walt, has served a powerful reflection of optimism and invention of family time. Yet, while the themes have always stayed the same, the most performed stage show in the history of American theater has taken in several forms over the years. They even acknowledge it. So before we talk about what's next for the attraction, let's take a look behind. So we're basically talking about the history, but you know, we'll put this link in our bio. They really, you know, and the people saying, "Oh, Disney doesn't care," I mean, I don't know what to say to that, man. I mean, they again, this is something that should have happened in '93, where they're changing the whole show, putting in the, I mean, I might say it in the article, but something about the millennium and the '80s and all this stuff.
Yes. I don't. It must say it here in the article, but if not, I can talk about what exactly they're trying to put here.
And here they're talking about that they're acknowledging that guests will soon be able to see Walt Disney in the. And there we go.
Oh, new decades. Here we go.
In addition to keeping Walt Disney the very attractive bears his name, Imagineers will also be updating all the scenes, new time periods. We'll get to see what John, Sarah, and the rest of the family are up to as they navigate ever-changing technology new decades. Phenomenal! One of our main goals with this update was to keep the attraction relatively for today's audiences, which will get more people in the freaking space. Because let me tell you, and yes, this was an argument with Muppet Vision, and honestly, in a way, I can understand, but I think they should be the thing where they relocate it. But because I will say, and this is a point that I made with you, Muppet Vision at when its last few years, it was in a very weird spot in the park.
Yeah,
and the reason I say this is because they were constantly taking away stuff from that area. The stores closed, like Wonderful Shop and whatever there was. The only two things that were operating in the area were Mama Marrow's and Muppet Vision. So there was nothing really to do, and Pizza Rizzo, which. Like, who goes to Pizza Rizzo? For real. So I think that in this case, I'll say I remember going to Carousel of Progress, and people just went in there to get AC. That's really
and sleep and nap.
Yeah. And also, if anyone cared, and this is a fact, guys. This is a fact, and we're saying this as theme park fans. You think that there's a whole huge community of Disney fans. There's theme park, Universal, Disney. I don't give a fuck what it is. It's theme park fans, but unfortunately, we are in a very vast minority.
Yes, we are. That's something that a lot of people got to consider, by the way. Yeah. That we are in a minority. Sure, we're a loud minority, but it's still a minority. And when you're running a company, you got to consider the general public.
And you know, people visit Disney, like these families going. I mean, of course, you have your Disney adults, which it is a huge community, but a good 80% are just people who just wanting to go on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's from what I know. I mean, you think 20% of people is still a lot of people.
Yeah,
but it's you know what I mean. It's like. That the fans have a voice, they do, but a company, multi-billion-dollar company, is not going to listen to you all the time. I know, like there were a few things that people have listened to. I believe Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. The reason it was I actually know why they changed it to 2D.
Why?
Guests were complaining about the 3D causing them like
Headaches. Yeah,
headaches
that's
and stuff, and it was like that. That is like that's why they changed it. Now back to this. So they'll listen to certain things, but if it's like a major project, they're gonna keep with that project. They're gonna. It's like with music. They're gonna keep a thing going no matter what. Like when, and I'm gonna bring it up when Splash Mountain disappointed people, and people are still mad about Splash Mountain. Like, no, there are people like
yeah.
they will constantly bring up Splash Mountain, like like reminiscence, and you are gonna be very surprised. A lot of people still miss Splash Mountain.
I'm not surprised. Splash Mountain was obviously like an important ride to the history of the park. And so yeah, obviously a lot that's the thing with a lot of theme park fans too. They really cherish and admire these type of attractions. So when it goes away, it's like losing a piece of them, you know.
Then you decide whether like Tiana's is representation and you know. But our main goals is that includes the iconic There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, which will continue to play as that transition. So for anyone saying the song will be taken away, it's confirmed that the song will remain. The Imagineers working on the refresh grew up during the decades. It was a real trip down memory lane to revisit the music, fashion, technology, and experiences to help shape their history. And the team is working tirelessly to make sure that things like appliances and art are true to that decade. Okay, cool. The 60s. When the show first opened in the World's Fair, the story began by looking back about 60 years to the dawn of the new century. Well, I think the show will open with Walt.
Yes, it will. Yes.
Yeah, no more than 6 decades later. I think it's going to open and close with Walt.
You think?
I think it
might.
It makes sense to close with Walt.
It
like
would, yeah. If you're going back to the first stage, yeah, you might.
Yeah. Now, more than 6 decades later, the new iteration mirrors that idea, turning 60 years back into the 1960s. In the summer of 1969, our Carousel family, along with the millions around the world, gathered around the television to witness one of humanity's greatest achievements: the moon landing, spaceship Earth, filled with awe.
It's funny you say that. That's exactly what was going in my head when I saw that. That's what they're going to be doing. I'm like, oh, they're just doing Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth, yeah. And the moment captures spirit innovation, possibility that the always will be the heart of Carousel of Progress. In the 80s, this is the 80s, Thriller drop. No, I'm kidding. In the 80s, where everything's bigger and better, and we pick up with the film Halloween Night. In 1985. For the first time in 1985, Martin McFly. Don't watch our Back to the Future video. For the first time ever, Sarah is taking center stage. She'll share the new appliances and the gadgets are making life easier for the whole family. Speaking of John, we'll find out on the porch handing out candy. Oh, that's awesome. And poor Uncle Orville. Yeah, Uncle Orville's back. Let's go. They've been found in the bathroom with no privacy around. Okay, that's funny. That's good. They're going to keep all the him in the bathtub and the refrigerator and the chicken. I mean, they're probably going to keep all those like classic references that fans love. And I mean, that's kind of what they did with Muppets, Aerosmith, and all that. If you're anything like my family, we just jumped ahead. With the 90s drawn to close, the millennium celebrate the future hand in hand. Epcot. Paper Street Nations. Our Carousel family preparing ringing the new millennium on New Year's Eve 1999. What year is it? 1999. What year is this? Raven to the year 2000. In the excitement of the countdown to 2000, a new thing called the internet is bringing Windows XP, right? On Sarah, Jimmy, and Patty, and the world, meet the world. Your friends are from everywhere. They should bring that to Disney World. Closer together than ever before. And if you're anything like my family, not everyone is making it to midnight. Grandpa has already nodded off the big countdown while Grandma sneaks the TV over to wrestling when no one's watching, no one's even looking. So here we watch. Yeah, there was an edit of the Grandma watching The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yo, that would actually be crazy if they do WWE on there.
WWF, fucker. Anyway.
Welcome to the World Wrestling Federation.
Oh, God Almighty, it's gonna be a good one. As we reach the end of our show, we see the family one last time in the distant future. Here's to the future. Here's to the future and you. In an out-of-the-world home. From a helpful robot assisting with everyday robot AI. Oh, this is a good subject. Do you think AI should be brought to the show?
Maybe. Maybe. I mean, I feel like if you're going to talk about the future, I mean, AI looks like it's going to be like
a very mixed reception. Because you're going to have a lot of people who are not, because Disney has a whole history with AI already.
Oh yeah.
Because Disney cut ties with Sora. Because Sora, they were like, we're not allowing Disney our brands and IPs to be repped on. Like when they saw everything, they were like, we're none. So Sora shut down everything, and there's a lot of back and forth with the use of AI and within the company. It's very interesting how it is.
Yeah.
But I think, and also I say this, I love the history of these parks. I really do. With like the back and bone of these parks is the history, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really had a personal connection with Carousel of Progress like that. So I don't really care too much that they're changing. I'm actually happy there. I mean, I care in the sense of like it was old and it needed and like no one did it and it needed to change. And I think they're doing the right. I think they're doing the right thing. But at the same time, you can express how you feel. Don't like over dramatize it. Like it's not how it is. Like I agree with the fact that this is Walt's like this is Walt. Like this Walt it's literally called Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress.
Right.
Well, I can understand people being frustrated because for the first three parts of they didn't really touch those moments. Like I mean they re-recorded the lines and stuff. But like they kept those decades and because that Walt was alive. And it was sort of that, like, so people were like, they're taking Walt from the parks. Like, again, they were already taking Walt away from the parks in 1998 when they brought him under new management. So,
they did.
And they brought the piece of Walt back in 2011 when those burned out. So,
but I was going
to... here.
And I was going to... Let me bounce off of you real quick, because for me personally, Carousel of Progress, this is literally, like, probably the first Disney attraction I think at least I remember... when I went back in 2006, as that was my first ever time going. And so this ride is literally probably my earliest memory of going to Disney World. And if I had to say anything, like, yes, I adored this ride. Especially when I was a lot older, like 10, 11 years old, especially since I was at that point really getting into the history of the parks. And so I understood, like, even back then, way back then, that this ride is crucial within the park's history. But at the same time, it's like, even as a hardcore fan as I am today who loves and cherishes this attraction, even as a fan, I will 100% tell you unapologetically that this ride needed an update. And I am all for an update for these parks, because what's the point of going to a theme park when you're just seeing the same shit over and over and over again? It's actually one of the reasons why I'm actually not too crazy over the Magic Kingdom, because it's just like, I've seen all these rides before. I've been on all these rides before.
To be fair, they really stepped up their game at Magic Kingdom.
Yes, but I'm just talking in the sense of like between 2015 to like 2021.
Oh yeah,
but even
the park remained the same since for all those.
And even today, like it's it's a little different, but it's still somewhat the same park. Obviously, now that they're adding Cars Land and that they've added little minor touches here and there with some of their classic attractions, obviously, like you can say that it's worth going back now.
I mean, Thunder Mountain's new, Buzz is all new. I mean, they've changed both of those attractions. They goes for the whole year, and then the other reason, when I was last year, they brought back Starlight debuted last year, so
yeah, very happy that at least they're adding another, at least not a new edition, but at least a reskin of what we currently have, you know? And it's not like they're getting rid of it. Now, if they were getting rid of, Carousel of Progress,
This is a
I think that'd be
whole
a much different story. We're talking about a much different
different
ballpark here,
story.
you know?
And then the other thing is, this is kind of like they're slowly like fixing up, or changing up Tomorrowland. Buzz got an update. Key Mover got that update like in 2023, I think. The Key Mover, this, and they're really changing up stuff here.
Yeah.
Uh, and you also forgot to mention villains for Magic.
Yeah, I forgot, they're putting villains. I just, excuse me, at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
So it's like, now that we have a new leadership going on here, now obviously they want to step up their game.
Go back to Act 4. And reached the end of our show. We said, our show. We see the family one last time in the distant future in out of this world home and help a robot assisting them with their tasks of space travel. The scene imagines a future where extraordinary intervention become part of life and proves that a beautiful tomorrow is just a dream away. It helps to bring new finale. It imagines like the original concept sketches by Disney legend John Hett. Wow. Drawing inspiration from his imagined vision of the future.
Yeah, look at that.
I love these new posters, man. So the last day to experience the current version is July 5th, 2026. So it will close the following day, July 6th. I believe July 6th is when it will close. So I think July 5th will be the last day.
Okay.
Expect the attraction to reopen in 2027.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to share more of our incredible work the team is doing in the coming months as we carry on Walt's vision, introduce the show to enjoy a new generation of fans while honoring its history and heart. And that was written by someone in Chris Betty. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but how are we feeling about this?
Again, like I said, I'm very excited for what's coming, in the future for this ride here in attraction. And again, it's just another reason to go back to the parks. Like I said, if you want to keep people coming back, you got to keep at least touching things up and at least giving people a reason to go back. And this is exactly what they're doing with this, in a much better way, in my opinion, than just again giving like pickup guns for Buzz Lightyear and all that all that stuff. But I mean, I'm just saying though, in general, like I'm happy they're actually like reimagining. There you go, I'm using that word. Reimagining.
Hey, I'll tell you something that they need to reimagine again. Finding Nemo, the Big Blue Beyond. Get rid of it, man.
Yeah, get rid of it.
You get rid of put something in the skate. I mean, Stitch's Great Escape needs something in there.
You tell me, man.
But no, but I think what they're I think they're going in a direction that's interesting. I mean, we just got a lot. We got all the animation area in Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios is a banging this year.
Oh yeah,
They are killing it this year. And honestly, this Bluey now gives a good reason for people to go to Animal Kingdom.
oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think, and that's gonna be one of our upcoming videos. Will be about the status and future of Disney's Animal Kingdom. So feel free to stick around for that one. Carousel Progress. How are you feeling overall? Overall conclusion.
Overall, like I said, I think I don't need explaining here. We're all excited for it.
I'm excited. I mean, and all opinions are, matter here. Just make sure that every comment on this page can lead to a conversation that's a discussion. And I think discussions are so important. And I think yelling and screaming and saying things because I grew up with it.
Right.
And, listen, I grew up with lots of things, but I'm open to y'all still go. Y'all still go to these parks. Y'all still pay a ticket. You'll be back.
You'll be back.
So it's like I'm not the biggest. I have a soft spot for Runaway Railway. Do I like it better than a Great Movie Ride? No. But will I still go on Runaway Railway just because it's the first thing there? 100%.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things but there's also things like animation. Whatever they have now is much better what they had before.
Absolutely.
They transform the area. The other thing, and again, I'm very excited about Indiana Jones.
Yes.
But I'm gonna miss Dinosaur. I still miss Dinosaur. I really miss dinosaurs. Like that ride was near and dear to my heart. But
Same here.
very open to change, and I'm very open to what to do. It's the same ride. It's the same ride system.
Exactly.
So like,
Exactly.
it's still like honestly, dinosaur. The great thing about dinosaurs, and the thing that's gonna stick with you forever, is the jerkiness of dinosaur, and that's gonna still be there in Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited that we're gonna get the jerkiness and the dark, and I'm excited. But anyway, that's gonna be the end of today's video.
Yeah. Before we end it, I just gotta say this. All right. Listen, to anybody who feels personally attacked by what Disney is doing to Carousel of Progress, or not even just Carousel of Progress, just any rides, period.
Carousel of America, Muppet Vision, any of these old Muppet Vision is a whole different, because Muppet Vision was Jim Henson's.
It was Jim Henson's last project, and I mean they did say they were going to preserve it. To a sense.
Apple VR, and it's like
whatever they're gonna. They said they're gonna preserve.
But I guess we're gonna find out during D23.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, imagine if we're right about something like that.
Oh God.
Anyway,
but I was just gonna say, like in general, like maybe don't take it too much into heart when it comes to these type of changes, because at the end of the day, we don't know. We don't know what they're going to do with it. We don't know what the final product's going to look like, and I think we should maybe wait until we get the final product. You know what I mean? And exactly. So at the end of the day, like, before we all jump into conclusions and before we start, just, I guess, attacking emotionally, think of this more in a logistic mindset here, Not a lot of people go on this ride. All right, and it's sad that nobody goes on this ride, because this ride system is literally the blueprint for so many modern theme park attractions, right? Forbidden Journey, Millennium Falcon. On top of that, you also got to consider Meet the World and what was that one show in Disneyland that they replaced it with? But still, like you had all of these rides that existed with this ride system in the past, which honestly, it's supposed to consume guests. It's supposed to eat people up, to keep the streets empty, Because if I'm going to be honest with you, Magic Kingdom's packed. It is packed. It is hard to walk from point A to point B in Magic Kingdom, And so updating this attraction that's supposed to be a people eater it's crazy how, people just can't understand that, wait a minute, like they're doing this because we need to keep the streets empty in Magic Kingdom. We need to make sure that people don't freak out and get panic attacks over the overconsumption of people around me. And what they're doing here looks promising. It looks great, and I feel like too many people here are just thinking too much into the past here and being like, no, there goes history. There goes my museum artifact. When you got to also consider, like we always say, theme parks are not museums. They're not supposed to be. Walt Disney himself literally said, the Magic Kingdom will never be finished, And the Carousel of Progress was a ride that was never supposed to be finished. And it wasn't, because they kept on updating it. So at least the ending.
Walt wasn't even involved in, like, most of those updates.
He wasn't. He wasn't.
So if Walt were alive, he would have changed the whole show. Like, let's be real. I think he would have.
Yeah.
Just based on how he described the attraction. I think the version that is the most iconic version is the first version from the New York World's Fair. That's the one that started. That's the blueprint. That started it all. That's the one that fans will go back and say, this is Walt Disney. That's the most Walt Disney version.
It is. It really is.
You think the one from '93? No. So I'm glad they're doing this. Anyway, thank you all for joining us on another spectacular, futuristic, progressive episode of Theme Park Rants.